What are you watching at the moment, John?
Sky Sports News.
Sky Sports News. Why are you watching Sky Sports News? Something's happened today, guys. I've heard on the grapevine that there's some sort of league thing happening. Like, have you heard of this?
Have we started recording? Because as soon as we go in, we'll be ranting, mate.
No, I thought because I'd had a few drinks last night, I thought it was just all sort of some fever dream. So I haven't looked at anything else. So I'm assuming it's just all in my head. But if you know about it as well.
It was all a dream, mate. It was all.
I don't want to say a dream. It was a nightmare. If you're going to describe it like that,
an absolute nightmare.
Hello and welcome to The Football Humans. You join us this wonderful sunny evening, beer in hand. Am I the only one with beer in hand? What you got?
Yes.
Water. John, what you got? Yes.
it's a French beer called Genoa.
Nice. Good. Well, and yeah, so it's a nice evening. We're having a lovely time. We just thought we'd catch up and talk a little bit about football because there's something kind of major happening in the old football's scene.
Sort of shit hit the fan this week.
There's a few things, isn't it? There's a few things, actually.
See, we should be talking about like Chelsea overcoming Man City, stopping them doing the quadruple, getting through to the FA Cup final. But instead, we got to talk about this shit.
No, Michael, we can start there. Let's start there. How was it for you, Chelsea, a semi-final? You thought you'd rather play Man City in a final rather than a semi-final.
No, I said semi-final rather than final.
Oh, did you? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Because I'd rather lose to them in the semi-final than the final.
Fair enough. Well, you didn't lose them, mate. Was it?
No, we beat them. We played really well, actually.
Didn't see it.
Yeah. It was a good game. I enjoyed it. People said the first half was dull, but they clearly haven't seen a lot of other Chelsea games in this past 4 or 5 months because I've seen a lot worse. But that way, I thought we controlled the ball pretty well. We didn't create any chances, neither did they. But we kept it really well.
It doesn't help when there's no fans there. I think the fans sometimes disguise it, but it's well more noticeable if a game is bad because it just sounds like what's a training match, isn't it? But,
yeah. But like I said, I didn't think it was particularly bad because I've seen ones that have been even drabber and dire than that. So, for me, it wasn't too bad to and we controlled it really well, and took goal well. Could have had a couple more. So yeah, happy with that.
And who's joining Chelsea in the final? Didn't really
cause any trouble.
Who
Leicester.
The other one?
Leicester. Yeah, Leicester, yeah. And there was fans back for that one, 4,000 fans.
What was that? Right. It was a test event, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, that's why I didn't know that. Didn't watch it.
I thought it was a bit like, didn't have fans for one, then they had them the next day. It was so piss take.
Yeah, no.
But no, so Leicester-Chelsea FA Cup final. Should be good.
Congratulations.
That should be good. Are there going to be fans for the final then?
Well, I think that's the idea, yeah.
Is it? Okay.
I don't know how many, but, we'll see how all these testers go. But then it could be the last FA Cup final that Chelsea's in for a long time at this rate, eh?
Well, let's not get onto that. Let's just build up to that. Let's talk about Mourinho, because that is a bit of a shocking piece of news today.
It was a strange appointment anyway. He's always going to end up like that.
It was
because it's to do with compensation.
Yeah.
It's to do with compensation and all the rest of it. Because it's like, well, if they won that, you can say, well, I'm the only one that's won your trophy for the last 15 years, or whatever, the first FA Cup in God knows how long. So,
do you think that's got to be the reason, right? Because if he'd won, his position would have been very different. Because it would be like, I'm the first person to win you a cup since they won the Worthington Cup way back when they beat Chelsea in the
they won it in 2008, the League Cup, didn't they? Under Juan de Ramos.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When they beat Chelsea,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't the Worthington Cup.
Well, I thought it was a Worthington Cup back then, but it's still,
it was. Maybe. I know
the same thing anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at that point, it would be sort of harsh to get rid of him, I suppose, if he wins it, wouldn't it?
And the contract as well. Like, what's the contract of winning trophies? I mean, apparently he's still been given a £15 million payoff.
I know. Wasn't you talking about this last week?
Stocking all the way to the bank.
He's like must have like a fortune in payoffs.
Yeah. Oh, there's plenty. Him and Sven-Goran Eriksson, man, unbelievable. He's sacked off everybody. He loved it.
Yeah, let's deal with this first. So, right decision for Mourinho to go, maybe wrong timing. Do we agree? So it's the right
decision, but it's a bad decision to bring him in the first place. They shouldn't have brought him in the first place.
Yeah, well, I think from speaking to all Spurs fans that I know, everyone is in agreement that it should happen.
Yeah,
because I don't think they've been playing very well. He's not getting the best out of a lot of the players that are there.
Should he have stuck with Pochettino for longer? Should he have gotten through that drive, or was it right?
I mean, I think so.
To go.
Probably, yeah.
Who's going to go? Who's going to take over? Who's going to be their manager?
Well, I mean, there's names banned about. It depends if these guys want to manage the Super League or not. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, there's Nagelsmann or whatever from RB Leipzig, and then Brendan Rodgers. Jamie O'Hara came out today and said, I mean, that guy he's a prick's prick. He's an absolute. He is the worst. The guy. He never comes. Everything he comes out with just makes me shake my head. Honestly, I do.
Why? What he said?
He said Harry Redknapp and Robbie Keane.
And Robbie Keane
as his assistant. Why does he give a shit about the assistant? Who do you think should be kit manager? Who do you think should be the key boy?
Why is Robbie Keane getting involved all of a sudden?
God knows.
It's not as if he's. I wouldn't even associate Robbie Keane as like his career as a Tottenham player. Do you know what I mean?
Not at all.
It's so bizarre.
God.
It's not like he's like Ledley King or something. Do you know what I mean? It's just so random to throw Robbie Keane's name in there.
I know. Why ask him O'Hara anyway? Why ask him? The guy who said Bournemouth are a bigger club than Rangers is. Do you know what I mean? He said, why ask him? He's a complete and utter imposter. I don't want to hear his name again.
Well, before we get to the Super League, I think what we should do is we should talk about the Football Humans Ultimate 11. So we've been going through picking our best 11, and this week we are looking at two teams that play in red and white, which would be Stoke and Sunderland. So should we do that before we have a rant? Because I think if we rant about the Super League, I don't think we'll get to do our teams this week, because I think
go on then, it
might open a can of worms. So let's
reminisce on past good times.
And
I've just made another change to my team as we speak.
Yeah.
You do that every week, don't you? You just look at it.
I look at the team again, and I'm just like, I'm not sure about him.
Where do you want to start? I found Stoke pretty straightforward, I think.
I found them both pretty straightforward, to be fair.
Yeah, actually, it wasn't. I mean, I wrote down a lot of names for Sunderland, but they're not really standout names.
The 11 kind of like picks itself. I found, but I'm pretty sure that we'll disagree on a fair few.
I'm sure we will.
Let's start with Stoke. Formation? What are we going for?
4-3-3.
4-3-3.
4-3-3. Ooh,
nice.
Oh, we've agreed on a formation for a change.
I know, yeah.
Okay, goalkeeper. Let's start at the back. In between the sticks, who we having?
Well, it was. Yeah, I went for Begovic. It was between him and Butland, but I went for Begovic. And it's literally only for Butland's like couple of seasons he played decent.
I went for Butland.
Did you? I put Butland on the bench, but
you both went for Begovic. Well, we'll go with Begovic then. That's fine.
I've just noticed that I think it's the first time I've got two names written down for each team. It's the same name, but I've not got them in my squad. Actually, it's Thomas Sorensen.
Sorensen, yeah.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Notable. Yeah.
Right, back four.
Let's start with right back. I've done the classic rag thing of not even sure if he is a right back.
Well, right back was the tough one for me because the other names sort of picked themselves. There wasn't really a standout right back for me.
Yeah.
So in the end, just for the couple of seasons he was there, I put Ben Johnson in.
Same as me. I knew you were going to say that. Same as me.
Yeah, because there wasn't a name that jumped out really to me.
No.
Well, I'm glad you both did that. I have Glenn Johnson on the bench, and I went with Rory Delap at right back.
He's midfield, mate. You can't
yeah, he's midfield. Yeah,
it's a 4-3-3. You see, so I thought a right back he could be, be good for getting forward midfield.
Right back, he can.
You know what I mean?
He can what? He can what?
Play in midfield.
Yeah, that's right back. 4-3-3. He can play left wing.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, I think he's probably covered right back in his career because he was a kind of right midfield player. He's like so. I think he played right back at Derby a couple of times. Well, I say a couple of times. I do remember him in my football.
I'm not having it. Fine, Glenn Johnson. Glenn Johnson is. And then centre back pairing. I've gone for Shawcross and Huth.
So have I.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same. No arguments here.
No arguments there. That's the centre backs, and then left back. I've gone for Eric Peters.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
there we go. That was pretty straightforward.
I had 4 defenders written down.
I had loads written down, but like I said, none of them were close to making that even the squad. Really,
no.
Yeah. That's good. And then,
I don't think I've got a defender on the bench. I haven't.
No, I've not.
I'm not going to lie. My midfield is not balanced at all. I've gone for 3 in the midfield.
Right.
I'm going to tell you the 3 names, and then you can tell me your midfield. Right. So I've gone for Charlie Adam, Joe Allen, and Arnautovic. Any of them make you a 3?
I've got 2 out of 3.
I've got 2 of the 3, but I've not got one of them playing midfield.
So I've got Charlie Adam. I've got Arnautovic. So I've got Adam, and then I went with Stephen and Zonzi as sort of like sitters, and then Arnautovic just in front of him.
But Arnautovic's not a midfield player. He's not a centre midfield player. He's a striker.
He played as a midfielder for a while. But
a winger. Not
kind of like a winger.
But at the end of the day, I needed to get him in the team, and there was better players in the positions up front rather than midfield. So
fair enough. Well, I've got Rory Delap and Zonzi and Allen.
Yeah, see, Delap I did put on a bench, and obviously, and it was more for the case of his throw rather than his excellence as on the pitch.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
He was a decent player for him, but I know. Well, I'll just start the strikers then, because I've got Arnautovic, Walters, and Shaqiri. So Arnautovic was the kind of the left of our 3. That was his position for me, and then Shaqiri and Walters with him. So
yeah, see, I've got Shaqiri, Walters, but I put Peter Crouch down the middle.
Yeah, I got Crouch down the middle.
Crouch was only there. Well, I suppose he was there a long time.
No, I looked. He was there from 2011 to 2009. I think. It was a long time.
Yeah. It was actually. But I don't remember him being there. No, that wasn't one of his best years, was it? But anyway,
you're gonna laugh at me. I've gone for Shaqiri, Peter Crouch, and Ricardo Fuller.
Oh, I've got Fuller on my bench.
I've got Fuller on the bench as well.
And he's a good player and a good Hearts man as well. So I'm quite happy to have him there. So Shaqiri's got to be there.
We've all got Shaqiri. We've all got Arnautovic at some point. We've all got Charlie Adam, right?
Yeah.
No, I've not got Charlie Adam.
We've all got Walters. Did you have Walters?
Yeah, I've got Walters, yeah.
Nah, he's on my bench. Walters.
But us 2 did, and 2 of us have both got Crouch as well, so...
Yeah, let's do that.
2 of us have got Nzonzi, and we've all got Joe Allen.
Oh, it's Nzonzi, not Adam, then.
Yeah.
So then... Actually, it could be... yeah.
Go on.
It could be Adam, Nzonzi and Allen, the midfield 3.
But then where's Arnautovic playing?
He would go up front, wouldn't he? But
instead of who?
Walters, probably.
But I'd probably put Walters in ahead of Crouch for Stoke.
Right, well, it would be Crouch who would go out then.
But we've both got Crouch going up front.
But we've all got Walters. Right? Well, yeah.
I've got Walters on the bench. I think Peter Crouch definitely. I say it every time. I put Peter Crouch in. I think he's underrated.
I mean, I'm not against that. I mean, I'm happy to have Arnautovic.
Well, why don't we just put Arnautovic in the midfield bit then?
Instead of who?
Instead of Joe Allen.
We've all got Joe Allen.
No, I haven't.
Have you not?
Yeah, I have.
I'll put him on a bench. I've got Charlie Adam.
He's got Charlie Adam.
So
it's twos all round.
Everyone's got twos. So there's hardly. It's hard to decide because there's no definitive vote. I'm happy with whatever.
I don't think you put Arnautovic in a midfield 3. If we're putting this online and we've picked him in a midfield 3, I mean, he's a striker, isn't he? So it's like, that doesn't make sense to me.
All right, so let's put him. Okay, but Shaqiri can't be out of it, so it's got to be between Crouch and Walters then.
Yeah, it is. So I'm happy either way.
Do you have any friends that support Stoke? I'm trying to think. Like, anyone I know that could, like, Chris Tarrant it and phone a friend and try and see who we should go for.
No, this is why he's online. We should tag him in it. Stoke Supporters Club and be like, what do you think?
We do need that because I don't know any Stoke fans. Do I know any Stoke fans?
Are you willing to put Crouchy on the bench, Rag?
I mean,
does that mean you're picking Walters ahead of Couchson, Russ?
I think so. Yeah. Personally, I would.
I mean, if you're going over a season, guys, Crouch is going to get you more goals. Even if he's on the bench, he'll come off. He'll score a header. It's fine. All right. Go with that. Whatever. Put him on the bench.
Is that a yes or a no?
Yes, it's fine.
Well,
I mean, if you want to put Peter Crouch on the bench, you put Peter Crouch on the bench. But I'm saying he should be in that starting 11. But it's fine. It's fine. If you want to put
he's on the bench then.
Sorry, Coach.
Right. So again, Shaqiri, Walters, and Arnautovic up front.
Yeah.
And then in the middle, Nzonzi, Adam, and Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Anyone thinking this Stoke side's pretty bang average?
I think it's all right, actually. It's not a decent team.
It's not too bad, yeah.
The defence is a mid-table team. Mid-table team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's got to be Mr. Tony Pulis, right?
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
So any other names on the bench that we haven't mentioned?
Matthew Etherington.
Yeah, I got him. I put Jeff Cameron on there as well.
Oh, yeah.
And Bojan, just because when he first went there, he did well for a little bit.
You see, I put Bojan on the bench, but only because I was like, he deserves to be on the bench. But then I was like, does he deserve to be on the bench? What did he actually do? I know.
There? Well, he's a tough one.
Came with all that
another one of them players that started well, but then you remember the fact that he was shit for quite a while.
Yeah.
So you forget, it sort of muddies the fact that he was actually good at the start. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
He plays for
Mesut Ozil. People forget that he was actually brilliant.
Yeah,
when he started,
because they just remember the sulking can't be arsed guy.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Bojan plays for Montreal Impact now.
Good name.
Does he?
Good name.
He was supposed to be like the next Messi, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was.
To be like...
Shite.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bojan, if you're listening. Probably is.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
I mean, that was pretty straightforward then, apart from the Crouch debate.
Well,
yeah.
Always a debate with Pete Crouch, isn't it?
Sunderland.
I mean, obviously, we've all gone for Mignolet in goal for Sunderland, haven't we? So that's a non-starter. That's just
Mignolet's not even in my squad, mate. He's not even on my shortlist.
One of the best goalkeepers you would ever see. One of the best goalkeepers you'd ever see.
No,
I thought Mignolet was great for Sunderland, so yeah, I did put him in goal.
Did you? Yeah. I'm winding you. I thought I was winding you up. No,
I'm deadly serious.
Sorensen.
That's the reason he got his move to Liverpool, isn't it? Because he was really good at Sunderland.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did start Sorensen, but I crossed Sorensen out, so I went Sorensen and Mignolet. The other option was Craig Gordon, but I didn't put him in.
I've got Craig Gordon in goal.
I knew you would.
Well, of course you would.
Yeah.
His first season, he was brilliant at Sunderland before he got injured.
I'd go Mignolet over Gordon, I'm afraid. 100%. So that's 2 votes for Mignolet. Sorry, what formation are we going for? What have we gone for?
4-4-2, I've gone.
4-4-2.
4-3-3. Fair enough.
It's usually me that does that, so fair enough.
Yeah, but I already know, before I even know your team, I know that can't work because you've got 2 number 9 poachers there who cannot play out that middle row. It's got to be a 2 because I know who you. I know who 2 or 3 are. Already.
All right. Yuri Geller over here, reading minds and bending spoons, whatever. We'll see when we get there, eh?
Is that the name of his autobiography? Reading mind and bending spoons? Because it should be.
It should be.
It should be.
Yeah. Right, so we're going Mignolet in goal. That right. Back 4 of right back. What are you saying?
But did you find there was a lot of crossover players?
Yeah.
Between these two,
there was some random.
There was a lot of players that kept turning up. And not many made it into the squad, but I did put Phil Bardsley in at right back.
So did I.
I've got Wes Brown at right back.
See, it pains me to say because I've got John O'Shea and Johnny Evans as centre backs, and I was like, I can't put Wes Brown as a right back because that's
Johnny Evans,
a random. Yeah, Johnny Evans. You went there, didn't he? He had a blinding season there.
He never played for Sunderland.
He did?
No, I don't think so.
I don't remember him ever playing for Sunderland.
He was at West Brom and then Leicester, but I don't think he played for Sunderland.
Johnny Evans was at Sunderland, wasn't he?
No.
Go and check it now.
Was.
Where did he go on loan there when he was younger?
He had I remember him having a really good season at.
You sure you're not thinking of West Brom?
No. Am I?
Well, I'm not being fun, I'm outnumbered, but there's no way I'm having Phil Bardsley or Wes Brown at right back.
Well, I've got Wes Brown in the centre, see? That's why I had to go. Again, the right back was my last position I filled in.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, if you give me a better option in centre back, I'm quite happy to push Wes Brown to right back. But, yeah, so I've got Bardsley, Wes Brown, John O'Shea, and I went for who I think most of us still have, Michael Gray.
Well, I've just put Michael Gray in now. I scored out Van Aanholt and put Michael Gray in, so that's my left back.
See, they had a lot of left back choices, not a lot of right backs. So.
Yeah, no.
So, Rag, what's your back 4, including or not including Johnny Evans?
Hang on. I'm looking this up.
If he played for him, I've completely erased it from my mind.
He might have went on loan there when Roy Keane was manager, possibly.
Oh, he went on loan. He went on loan. He went on loan.
What years? 2008.
Is he frozen?
Oh, I've gone mad. No, he's not frozen. He's just reading this, but he's gone mad. Do you know what? Do you know what's happened there, guys? Do you know what's mental? Right. So he went on loan to Sunderland and got them in the Premier League.
That was when Roy Keane was manager, yeah. I do remember that.
Roy Keane wanted to sign him, but then Manchester United confirmed that he would stay with them. And then on the 4th of January 2008, Evans rejoined Sunderland on loan for a second time. So he did play for him.
I don't remember this at all. I don't remember him ever playing for Sunderland.
So he played for them.
It does ring a bell now that when Roy Keane was manager, he took a couple of players on loan from Man United.
They wanted to re-sign him. They said, no, we're keeping him. And then he went back there and went back on loan. He was decent.
In the Premier League or not?
Yeah, in the Premier League.
So how many games did he play for him in the Premier League?
I don't know. I've shut the page, mate. I've shut the page.
Because
I'll have a look now.
What?
I'm having a look to see.
He played 15 games in the Premier League.
It's not a lot, is it?
No.
But, I mean, if you recall, I'm going to have to go on you two on this, because if you're recalling being good for him, then fair enough. But I just don't remember it at all. So I can't decide.
Well, I'll tell you who my options are as well, because I've got Wes Brown right back, Michael Gray left back, and I've got John O'Shea and Michael Turner.
No,
they signed him from Hull because he was brilliant at Hull.
He was, wasn't he? But he wasn't.
Was that? So when was that though?
Was that Premier League?
2012. Yeah, it was Premier League. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he was that good there, to be honest.
I'm quite happy to take him out.
I'm going to go Phil Bardsley at right back. I think Phil Bardsley at right back.
Unless you want to put Brown, Evans, O'Shea and Gray.
I'm okay with that, because obviously I think overall Evans is a better player than Bardsley on my back four. I just don't remember Evans playing for Sunderland. So I can't decide. I can't be the one who decides that he goes in the team.
Well, I'm if you want to do Bardsley, Brown, O'Shea and Gray, then that's fine as well. Because he was young there, so I don't remember him being that good.
I'd go with, let's not put Evans in, because Michael doesn't remember him, even playing there. So he can't have been that good. Even though I do remember him, going on loan. I do remember that. But he probably wasn't. He's better at other teams as well. So he can't be...
So you'd want to do...
I put O'Shea in. Definitely put O'Shea in.
Well, we've all got O'Shea and we've all got Brown, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've all got Michael Gray as well.
Yeah,
right?
So it's just putting in... You two have got Bardsley, haven't you? So just put Bardsley right back.
Yeah. I'm happy with that.
Fair days.
So in the middle of the park, I went for a 3. I went for a 3 with Malbronk, Henderson and Catamore.
I've got...
Any of them?
I've got Malbronk on the bench.
I've not got Malbronk at all.
Yeah, I've got Malbronk on the bench.
I've not got Catamore at all. I've got Henderson.
I've not got Catamore. I've got Henderson, yeah. And then other one in...
How can you not have Catamore? You watch that Sunderland Till I Die documentary. He is Sunderland till he dies, man. You've got to have him in there.
True.
Yeah, only because no one else wants him.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I did have him on the bench, but I've crossed him out to put in Nicky Summerby on the bench. So,
oh, come on.
So I'm all right with him being on the bench, but I wouldn't put him in a starting lineup. In the middle, I went for Henderson and Seb Larsson.
Oh, I forgot about
I've got a 4 across the middle. I think mine's perfect, and I'll be very... I think we should just go with this, to be honest with you. Right to left. Right to left, I've got Nicky Summerby, Claudio Reyna, Jordan Henderson, Julio Arca, and Claudio Reyna's brilliant. I wouldn't leave him out of the team.
I've got Arca, and I've got Henderson, and I've got Summerby on the bench. So
you've not got Reyna at all?
No.
Claudio Reyna was brilliant. Claudio Reyna was a brilliant player.
Was he brilliant for Sunderland though?
Yeah, I don't remember.
He was brilliant. No. He was brilliant for Rangers
and Man City.
Yeah, but was he brilliant for Sunderland? And was he even there that long?
No.
I mean, yeah, he was.
I'm sure he was only there for a season before he went to Man City.
Well,
right?
I'd put in Stefan Schwartz before I put in Seb Larsson.
Schwartz, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Schwartz was decent.
Yeah, he only played 28 games for Sunderland. He only was there for one season, Claudio Reyna.
28 great games, though.
Yeah. He was excellent for Rangers and he was good for Man City. I'll give you that.
He's not getting in this Sunderland team, John, I'm afraid.
Nah. I'd put Schwartz in ahead of him, though.
Yeah,
I would go with that. But on my right-hand side, I put Stefan Sessegnon.
Oh, Sessegnon, yeah, he was decent. Yeah.
He was good for a couple of seasons there.
Yeah.
But I'm okay to put Nicky Summerby in there.
I'm not, because I think he sounds like a musician.
Well, that's actually no reason not to leave him, put him in the team.
Yeah,
I don't like the sound of his name.
Yeah,
Nicky Somerville, isn't it? Is it Nicky Somerville?
No, Jimmy Somerville.
Jimmy Somerville.
Yeah.
I'm getting confused.
Who've got the last
What a
He's a confused.
He was the manager of Sunderland. All right, I'll call you into the office because your name sounds exactly like that singer.
Yes, what I don't want you playing.
Nicky Somerville.
Nicky Somerville.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. You talking about Jimmy Somerville? My name's not so. Apart from the fact that they both got summer in, it's nothing like it.
Yeah, and that's another reason as well. I don't like Midsummer Murders.
Yeah.
It's my least favourite programme.
And it's sunny outside. Now get out of my face.
Who have you got the left, Russ?
Arca.
Right. So Henderson, Arca are in.
Yeah.
Summerby possibly on the right hand side. I mean, I'd go Summerby all day long on the right hand side.
I go Malbronk
Summerby as well.
Malbronco or something.
So Malbronco was good at Fulham, though. He wasn't that good.
He was good at Sunderland.
Nah, he was okay at Sunderland. Yeah. I've got him on the bench. I don't think he's good enough to get in the 11.
All right, so
he's definitely on the bench.
Tell me who my front three are, John, and why I can't have a front three before we move on from the midfield.
Fine. Your front three is
this will be good.
Kevin Phillips, Niall Quinn, Jermaine Defoe.
And why can't I have them?
Because they're all number 9s.
He's absolutely nailed it.
They're all number 9s. They can't play. They can't play a three across. They have to be two, one each side, running at the flanks, running in the spaces. They're all number 9s.
So Niall Quinn in the middle, and then those two guys. A little bit of a
Kevin Phillips can't play down that wing.
No, and neither can Defoe.
No, but this was a tough one because it was a choice for me. I mean, for you lot, it might have been between 3, but for me, it was between 4.
It's between
Stephen Fletcher.
Darren Bent.
Darren Bent.
For the 2 seasons Darren Bent was there, his record, 58 games and 32 goals. It's better than... That ratio is better than all the others.
Yeah.
Darren Bent.
But I didn't go with Darren Bent.
Niall Quinn, Defoe, but Asamoah Gyan played amazing for them.
He had a good season. But
Michael Bridges played amazing
good,
for them. So anyway.
Michael Bridges.
I couldn't not go with...
You've got to have Quinn.
You went with who?
Quinn.
Phillips and Quinn.
Yeah, that's who I went with. You couldn't not go with it. But I put Defoe and Bent on the bench.
Well, I'm happy with that, but I think there's a case to be had to go with 4-3-3.
Why?
Because we could have Henderson, Arca, someone else on the right. Because I'd trade you Jimmy Somerville on the right. To have Defoe or Bent on as a front three.
Why do we go 4-2-4 and play Defoe, Bent, Quinn and Phillips all together?
I think
nailed it.
Rag, I think unfortunately Ras has got a good point with the fact that they can't really play in a free, those players.
But, all right, fine. I concede. Fine.
Please.
Everyone's going to know how we're going to play. We're just going to knock it up to Niall Quinn. He'll head it down. Kevin Phillips
score goals. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fine. Let's do that then. Fine.
But also, these guys need service, so you've got to have Summer being Arca on either side to be floating the crosses for them.
Fine. Summer be Arca, and then who's in the middle? Henderson and
Schwartz. We do.
Oh, you got to have Catamol in there, no? Over Schwartz.
Mate, Catamol is fucking shit. No offence.
Well, it's pretty offensive.
It's really offensive. It's offensive.
He's still playing Holland. He wasn't. That's his last club, wasn't it? Who's it?
VV
Venlo. That's right. Yeah.
Was it them?
Yeah, triple V Venlo. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Fine.
Why?
Concede. That's fine. Catamol can go on the bench. Peter Crouch can go on the bench. Everyone.
Mate, I was just going to say
Darren Bent can go on the bench.
Sunderland.
Defoe can go on the bench. They're all on the bench. It's fine. Let's have a little short breather. We'll start another Zoom and we'll talk about what's going on in the.
You sound a bit riled now, though, Rag. To be honest,
it can go on the bench. Yeah. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Sounds rigid.
Let's just put them on the bench. Everyone goes on the bench. Whatever. And
who they sitting next to on that bench?
Manager. Who are you saying? Sunderland. Roy Keane?
Nah, Peter Reid for me.
Peter Reid
for Peter Reid's deed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, anyway, let's go on with this because we're going to be here all night.
Hey?
I said, let's get on with this because we're going to be here all night because we'll be talking for about 2 hours about the Super League.
Okay, so you want to bring it up? Let's bring it up. So, Super League, European Super League, what's the beef? Why are you angry? Why do you not want a Super League of the best
trying to wind it up?
I know, there's nothing worse than someone playing devil's advocate.
No, not playing devil's advocate. Just saying. It's still going to be in the Premier League. Premier League's not affected.
Are they?
Still going to be in the Premier League, yeah.
I don't think that's the truth.
In their best case scenario, it is, but that's just not going to happen.
They're not going to get kicked out of the Premier League.
Yeah, they might not allow it. No, they might not. The UEFA might not allow it.
It'll go through, right? They'll still be in the Premier League, right? They'll just play midweek doing this Super League instead of Champions League. So if you think about it, like it's a rebranding of the Champions League.
But they're doing that anyway.
No, but they're just making
which by a side also sounds shit.
Exactly, but, sounds shit. So if you think about it like this, right? It's a European competition, right? With the best teams, arguably the best teams in Europe, with 4 places that are like a playoff kind of like wild card thing, just to replace the Champions League.
No, I tell you what, Rag, you're annoying me. You're annoying me now.
It's more serious than that.
You don't believe this at all yourself. Because let's just put it out there. Because if they want the Premier League and that to take place, so that's an extra fucking they're playing home and away. So that's an extra 30. How many games is that? It's 18, 36 games.
Yeah.
So they got to play 36 midweek games as well as like 38 Premier League games.
Yeah.
So that would spell the end of the FA Cup. That would spell the end of the League Cup.
Why would
that would that would end up with because they haven't got time to play all these unless they do the other thing, which would be they'll split their squads to have a Premier League team and a European team, and that's shit. It's like why do you want that? It's just sort of like it's disgraceful, man. And like the closed door nature of it is just so spoiled and so fucking pathetic, and it's just sort of like, oh, we're the elite, we should be on our own and play against fucking AC Milan. Have not been elite for years, man, since Arsenal. They got fucking Arsenal. Tottenham haven't won a trophy since 2008, like you said. So I mean, that's absolute garbage. Man United have been shit for the last few years. You know,
it's all money. It's
like that.
It's regardless of that. It's basically. Like, you're right. I don't agree with it. I'm just being a dick. But I'm just like, it's basically, as far as I can see, owners have come in, these rich owners, they've bought into a product, but they're not viewing football as football. They're viewing it as a product.
Yeah.
So they've got money
100%.
that they've invested into this product, and they're like, how can we make as much money as humanly possible? So we've done the Premier League, all the different leagues. We've got sucked out loads of money of that. We've done the Champions League. We've done the FA Cup. We've sucked out all the money of that. What can we do now to get more money? What can we do now that's going to line our pockets more?
The way you put that is absolutely right. Suck to the money out. It's like just fucking bleeding it dry.
Yeah,
bleeding it
dry. Moving on.
But they're thinking, hang on, we've got all these shareholders. We've got all these like billions of like these owners that are earning millions of pounds. They just want more money. So how can we make more money? They're not thinking about football. They're not thinking about the fans. They're not thinking about heritage and
history, tradition, all that
tradition, all of that thing. They're just thinking product, money. How do we make money? That's all it comes down to.
And we all know that, and that's exactly what it's been like.
But we let these owners come into football. We let these owners buy the clubs. We let them pump the money in, and we think. Like I don't know whether you'd agree, but you think, oh, this is the best thing for our teams because we're getting the best players, we're getting opportunities, this, that, the other. But the back of my mind now, I'm thinking it's all just a ruse to make money.
It always has been. It always has been. But this thing,
your soul to the devil.
It's like when you hear the announcements and you hear it's just basically so. If they do this Super League, it won't be long before all these games are getting played all around the world. So this is not for your at-home everyday fans. This is for like a global fan base. But even saying that, if you look at any football posts at the minute, underneath it, it's irrelevant to the Super League, the post. Every comment is just no to the Super League, no to this, sounds rubbish, da-da-da.
Yeah.
So I don't even think a worldwide audience are interested in it.
No.
So can it fail then? So if the only way people are going to listen, I would say, is if they put tickets on sale and no one buys tickets. No one buys into it. No, like you kind of need like the fans to stay together and just say, look, we reject it. We're not doing that. We're not travelling to go and support the team. We're not doing any of that stuff. We don't want it. And then it's up to the owners to listen to that, isn't
it? That's one thing. The other option is, which could happen as well, that if UEFA do make a stand on this and say, there's no way this is happening, if it does happen, though, let's be assured that you won't be playing World Cups, you won't be playing Euros, none of the players will be involved in this. So players, and even right now, Bruno Fernandes came out and said tonight, dreams can't be bought. And basically, he's probably saying, I would think what the vast majority, if not all, of the players are thinking. And what they'll say is, if we have to do it, we're under contract, but we'll just run down our contracts. We're not signing new contracts. So if we've got 2 or 3 years left in the deal, then we'll play for 2 or 3 years, but then we'll leave. And then and that's how they can say they can't get the best players in the world, because one, the UEFA said we're going to block you buying any players from outside your Super League, and two, that if the players go, who are they going to buy? And it's not just going to be fast. But Rag, you hit the nail on the head about it's just the fact that what it is of the owners' money. We all know that's what it is. And they came out with a statement tonight saying that Joel Glazer saying that it's the next chapter for football. It's all about football. It's nothing to do with football. They don't even like football. It's pure their business.
Do you know what it is? It's just like there's this. Obviously, it's not just the American owners, but what it is I feel like it's targeted from them and from like the Real Madrid, because they're trying to make it like an NBA, NFL sort of thing where it's a closed shop and it's just the same teams in it all the time. And it's sort of like, that's not how it works. It's just completely disregarding the history of every competition in all these different countries. And it goes to show a lot that Borussia Dortmund have not signed up to it, and Bayern Munich. And Bayern
Munich. Because these clubs are owned 51% by their fans.
Exactly.
That's in the agreement. But even the other countries, Porto have said no. PSG and the French clubs have said no. But Rag, the other thing, the point you made, which I was wanting to make as well, the fact that we've allowed this, well, not us, our country and the FA and whoever else in charge have allowed these people to come in with their indispensable amount of money that's just going forever, these billions of pounds, to do what they want, to buy the club and say, oh, I'm here to take the club forward. But it's like, well, you're not. You're here because for your money, you're going to make millions and billions of this. Yeah. So it's like, how did we let this happen? And it's down to money. And what they've got to do now, they've got to do whatever they can. I don't know what's possible in law or in contracts to wrestle back power as much as possible, because this is only go one way. And this was what I'm sure I speak for all three of us, when we could see this coming, like even 10 years ago. Where's football going to be in 10 years, 15 years' time? With all these owners and Arabs and Asians in charge of running clubs, they only want it for one reason. It's not to protect the heritage, as you're saying, and the history and traditions of the working man's club that was founded originally 100 odd years ago for the average fan. It's for their pockets. And if you look at the price of tickets now as well, like this is last 10, 15 years as well. It's like
the price of tickets, they already priced out certain fans already.
Yeah, and the fact that the certain fans we're talking about is probably your working man that we started the club, who's got say 3 kids or whatever, and a mortgage to pay and stuff. And it's like, I can't afford to pay £1,000 a season on my ticket, a season ticket, and everyone else's. I can't afford it. But they don't care about that. We know that they don't care about it. They were well unlucky. That's a shame. But we're still going to move on with your club that we bought from whoever, because we know how much money we can make from it, and that's what it is. And it's got to be stopped, because Gary Neville said the other night it's criminal, and it is criminal. It's completely unbelievable.
Gary Neville's just nailed it. Like we said before, his reaction was the best, and it's the best thing I've watched in a long time, because he showed a lot of passion there, and it was sort of like, it's the complete opposite what they're doing. And these owners coming in, you've got to give them fair due. A lot of them have like done good stuff for the community, built up these clubs, looked after older players and stuff. But ultimately, like you're saying, their goal is money orientated, and it's also, I feel that, because the Spurs one was the weird one to me, because obviously all the others are owned by foreign, like, outside money, whereas Spurs isn't, is it? I don't think.
No.
Well, it's not. He's not owned by Daniel Levy. It's a company he's with. I don't know what.
Yeah. But he's basically the guy making the decisions, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah, yes. Well,
but it's sort of like, at this point, it then becomes like, if 2 or 3 of them decide to go, then the others are like, well, we don't want to miss out on this opportunity.
We don't be left behind. That's what it is. Yeah.
But I don't understand, because basically, I could totally understand why Inter Milan, Juventus, especially AC Milan, want to move away from Serie A. I can understand why Madrid and the 2 Madrids and Barcelona want to move away from La Liga. But I can't understand it with the Premier League. The Premier League is the biggest product. It's the most competitive
season.
It's like the other ones, the other games that are not involving the big teams are not watchable most of the time. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like, I don't... And it's such a rich history in all these countries that they're just completely ignoring. Yeah, I just don't get it.
I totally disagree with you on the fact that I don't understand why Juventus and Milan clubs wouldn't leave Serie A, and I don't understand why Barcelona, Real Madrid, and nothing would want to leave La Liga.
Well, they obviously don't want to leave, but they want to be guaranteed.
They're bigger clubs, but is that not a good thing? Being a bigger club and being a 3-horse race every year, is that not a good thing? Would you not want to be in that position rather than a club who's mid-table every year? That's the whole point of competition, surely, is to start the season to try and win trophies and win your league. And it's not. I would understand it if they won the league.
It's not about that, though, is it? Like, their plan is not to take all these clubs out of the.
It's not, but it will end up.
Not at the moment. Not at the moment.
Yeah, so their plan is just to have a competition. So they're not they're saying that each team will still be in their domestic.
Thing is, though, I wouldn't be adverse to this if they suggested that, we'd do this European Super League once every 4 years or whatever. I don't know, but without like having as many games as they're having. But from when your team's in Europe, it's the excitement of making Europe. It's the excitement of playing teams that you've not played for. I mean, we've not played Madrid in Europe before, so it's exciting that we got drawn with them. But if you end up you playing them every year, it just then becomes like, wow.
It's not even every year. It's maybe every week. It's like every week. Do you know what I mean? Because they'll be playing them 3 or 4 times a season. Or
exactly. It's crazy.
Is it twice? Yeah. It's crazy.
How long is that sustainable? How long till that starts to lose its magic?
I mean,
the other thing is, literally, Liverpool against Aston Villa, and Aston Villa wins 7-2, and you're like, oh my god, that result, that is mental. If it's Liverpool against Real Madrid and Real Madrid wins 7-2, I'm not going to be going, oh wow, that's out of nowhere, is it? Or like underdog teams, kind of like, you're just going to be like, oh well, they're a decent side, like fair enough, like on their day.
It's everything. I mean, it's just. But I mean, I was the same as you guys. When growing up, especially, say back in the 90s, for example. You see the Champions League draw or whatever, and it's like Man United versus Barcelona, Bayern Munich versus Juventus, and you're thinking, I can't wait to watch that next Wednesday night. I cannot wait for these games. Yeah. But even now, before the Super League started, like, because I think games are coming so thick and fast, it's the same clubs every single year. It's the same elite money clubs. And it's like, see, Barcelona have been drawing against PSG. I'm like, have they? I'm not that bored. It's just like, they played them 6 months ago, did they not? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's this and that. It's the same clubs playing each other all the time. But it's not. It's once a year. Or sometimes once every 2 years if they don't get drawn each other straight league year after year. But so it's like this Super League sounds boring. I wouldn't watch it. And not because it's a stance and I'm saying I want it, but I'm not because it's not right. I generally don't give a shit about it. Like I wouldn't care who won. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's just.
Well, the thing is, I will make it a stance to not watch it. It's not for me. It's just not at this point. I mean, I love Chelsea, and Chelsea has been like my life. Do you know what I mean? I was just sort of like everything that revolves around that. And if they went out of the Premier League and onto that, like, I would be devastated.
Yeah.
But there would have to be a time where I'm going to have to call it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's sort of like, and that's what the sad thing is. There's a lot of supporters out there that are thinking the same thing. If it comes to that, and you're no longer competing in the English League and in the FA Cup. Granted, that's not what they want right now. But if that's what it comes to, then it's not your club anymore. It's not that same club. It's not the thing. It's not what you grew up with.
It's just a brand. It's just a brand. And
exactly. Yeah. And it's sad. And I'll never, ever love a club as much as I love Chelsea, but I'd have to think about following a different English club if they're not in the English league. Do you know what I mean?
Who would you follow, mate?
Stevenage
or Brentford, probably.
You go local. You'd stay local if you kind of go like.
But the thing is that even if you did, that would never be the same. It's not as if you're ever going to have.
No, that's what I said. It's never. I'm never going to have the reactions. I'm never going to have the reactions that I do for a Chelsea game, where I'm sweating and I'm nervous and I'm like, I love it, and that's why this has hit the core of so many fans, and that's why Gary Neville was so passionate when he said that thing, because he feels the same for Man United, and he doesn't want to lose that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think there's any fan out there, any true fan, that would ever say, "Well, I think it's quite a good idea." Actually, I mean, it's fake. This Super League, it's just it's a made up thing by Americans. As a franchise, is their own kind of little game, right? So, if you'd never ever feel the same, even if Chelsea stayed in the league, but still played in the Super League as well. If Chelsea were in the Super League final against Barcelona, you wouldn't have the same feeling of the sweat and nerves as you have if it was a Champions League final against Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it would never. It's fake. It's like for me. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Chelsea fan, but for me, it would be like playing Chelsea for FIFA. That you want to beat me as if I'm playing as Barcelona. You'd want to win the game. You're not going to lose FIFA if you don't win. Do you know what I mean?
But the massive, it's true. Yeah, the massive thing as well that is so disrespectful is to. Obviously, Neville brought it up as well, but the fact that they're doing it at this time when lower league clubs are struggling and stuff.
Yeah.
But also the fact of teams like Leicester, like Everton
Leeds,
stuff around that sort of area. So if there's that Super League will eradicate the Champions League. So then it becomes harder for those teams to get into a European competition, because I know they're saying there'll be like a few spaces for people to go into it if they've done well, but. Yeah. But then what? You're just disregarding the rest of Europe then. Do you know what I mean? Like all these other... So you'd never end up against like Legia Warsaw or like Hajduk Split or... Do you know what I mean? It was just...
Bayern Munich.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's crazy. It's absolutely mad. And for teams like Leicester, I mean, they've won the league recently. They've won the league more recently than Arsenal and Spurs. Do you know what I mean? So it's sort of like... it's absolutely maddening.
Yeah, can you imagine like Leicester and West Ham getting the top four? They think, we're going to get like a load of money for being in the Champions League. We're going to have the experience of being in the Champions League, etc. And then it's just like, nah, sorry, no, you can't do that anymore.
No, I mean, it's embarrassing. Arsenal finished 9th, so like anyway, forget about that. We're too good for this. We're big.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, Rag, would you take your support over to the Super League if Liverpool were no longer in the Premier League?
I would never say never. I would never, but I am very conscious that, like I said, it's a product, and it's whether you buy into it. Then, like, do you like?
Even if you said yes, I would still. It would never feel the same feeling. It would never be the same. It's not, you can't even compare the two.
But what's strange is now, is if it goes back and it doesn't happen, it's kind of tainted a little bit.
Oh, totally.
It's kind of tainted. It's tainted the competitions. It's tainted the FA Cup, the Champions League, all that sort of thing. You kind of going, well, why am I watching this? Like Liverpool, like you said, is it just the brand of like it? Like,
well, there's been rumours about this before, hasn't there? There's been rumours about it before, and they backtracked. So, do we honestly think they're not going to backtrack this time?
I don't think they'll backtrack. I mean, the only way we can get back to it, we've got to remember here, is like we're talking about the clubs and stuff that you support, but it's not the history, heritage, tradition, and families of Chelsea and Liverpool we're talking about here. We're talking about basically the owners. And
the owners, exactly.
Yeah, it's not the players, it's not the tea lady, it's not bloody whoever else, Bill Shankly or anyone. It's literally just the owners. So if something happened with a new rule came into place tomorrow, and they said you have to sell your shares, 51% of your shares to the supporters, and that you have to do it, and that's the only way. it would be fine. We wouldn't be like, oh no, that's the same. It's not the same people. The same people as like we're talking about Family Sports Group here. That's who to blame. And we're talking about the Glazers and stuff like that. But it's not. We're not talking about the club in general because these people are not the club. They never will. They never have been. They have nothing to do with the club or our game. It's literally their product that they happen to use all the money, not all the money, but loads of the money to buy. And that's all it is. It doesn't mean they've got anything to do with it.
It's weird. Worst case scenario is they get kicked out of the Premier League. All of their players don't want to play for them because they can't play in a World Cup, they can't play in European Championships, etc.
Yeah.
So it ends up like the MLS was years ago, when it's just retired players and local players. Like,
but at that point, they want to get back in. Like, imagine, like, even if they did, these rich idiots end up selling up and be like, "Oh, do you know what? It's not working now. We're not making money on this anymore." They sold it to, say, for instance, the supporters, and then when they come back, go to the Premier League, can we come back now? Everyone's always going to remember them for that. The one of the traitors.
Do you know what?
But like Rag said, I think they're still going to be remembered for that now, even if it doesn't happen.
It's like when Man United went on that bloody. I never forget it when they didn't want to play in the FA Cup and they wanted
for the Club World Cup. I remember that. Yeah,
Club Championship.
Yeah,
and you're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that?
Yeah, I know. I remember that was 99-2000, wasn't it? Yeah.
I mean, but that didn't last, did it? They didn't.
No, I know.
Didn't carry on.
But I mean, but the thing is, I mean, there's a similar scenario. To be fair, yeah, that was a one-off game though, and so. But I mean, I don't know what to do. I don't know if it's possible to actually put a stop to this, and the government's getting involved in saying this has gone far too far now. We're putting a stop to this, and we're taking back control. I don't know if it's possible.
Is it like, how can they say, like, because I read it before we started recording, that they're going to give them £3 billion to do this? Each team will get a £3 billion.
Who's giving them this?
Where's it coming? Exactly.
It's JP Morgan is funding it. JP Morgan Bank, and apparently, this £40 billion is. I didn't read that was going to the clubs. I heard it was £40 billion
I read that
to actually take the league.
Each club would get £3 billion. Right? It just blew my mind. Why? What? It's more money than sense. What are you going to do with that? Like, what's the point? You're not going to have any fans. Like you said, Michael, you support Chelsea through and through, etc. You're going to sack them off if they do this. So they're not going to have fans. They're not going to have anyone to sell. They're just going to die.
You know, it's not as easy. It's not as easy as I said, because like you said, you can never say never. And like Chelsea is like I said, it's been my life. Like so it's not as easy to just like drop it like that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah.
But will it have the same enjoyment, same effect? Absolutely not. I mean, I've said this before. I've never. Like, my favourite time supporting football in general was around the 90s when we weren't winning stuff, and
there wasn't a lot
of money going on. That was when I was most passionate about it, and I suppose the start of the 2000s and stuff. And obviously, when we won the league for the first time, because it was all exciting and stuff. But then, I don't know. Yeah, it's just
that's what it's truth though. We don't. Football needs fans to be what it is. And it doesn't need loads of money, but because of the brand that the Premier League kind of brings with these certain clubs, the vultures of the world with the billion trillions of pounds or whatever can take advantage of that and make more money. But I don't understand what they need to make more money for. I mean, when it's like they're saying more money for the clubs and stuff, it's like why do you need, if you're spending £150 million on a player and you've got an annual wage bill of about £1 billion, why do you need more money? Like you've got more than enough money. What is this for?
Well, that's the thing. These are the clubs in football that don't need more money. They're all the clubs that are on the rich list. There's so many other clubs that do need money. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like, it's fucking outrageous, man. It's like, it's arrogant. It's absolute arrogance and flaunting these like numbers around when they know that there's clubs in really dire financial positions.
And 100%, you're right. Like that, you nail on the head there. We're watching football in COVID times with no fans there, and that's affecting the game so much. Everyone said you need the fans there. You need to have that crowd. You need that support.
Yeah.
Like if it goes ahead and no fans go, and there's no support, there's no atmosphere, there's nothing there, it's going to fail. It's not going to work.
But the thing is, if they take it around the world and they take it to like Southeast Asia or America, they will be full stadiums.
Yeah, they will. That's the thing.
But there's not full stadiums. It's just tourists.
That's what we're saying. And it's not going to be the clubs anymore.
It's not going to be the clubs.
But that's exactly it. But that's what I mean, because I can't see it not surviving, because at the end of the day, it just becomes a tourist attraction. Because at the end of the day, fucking Big Ben and Westminster Abbey don't have a group of loyal supporters, do they? But everyone doesn't see them. Yeah, you're a big...
I'm St Paul's through and through, me, mate.
Yeah, I know. In the CEO of the Supporters Trust.
Yeah.
You were at Take Britain Away last year, were you not?
Yeah.
Tuesday night at Take Britain. So it will survive because the money that tourists will... I mean,
I just don't think it will, John. I honestly don't think it will. You can't have...
Well, the thing is,
a full house of no disrespect, like a full, like if they go and play in Asia and having a full house of Asian fans, it's not the same as playing in Liverpool. Like for a Liverpool supporter, it's not the same.
I know it's not, but
it's fake. It's not rubbish.
They don't give a shit about that though. They just see the pound signs.
Yeah, exactly. But it's going to fail because then it's not going to be a worldwide kind of like support, is it? Because they're going to have lost like all their fans.
They're going to lost the home support. Yeah,
the home support.
Yeah, they lost the home support.
Yeah.
What did we think of
the local area? Yeah.
The timing of it as well, announcing at the time, because obviously, Chelsea, Man City still in the Champions League as is.
I thought it was
the timing of it yesterday, when there's still competitions going on, the very competitions that you're absolutely undermining.
I think it coincided with the fact that they wanted to announce the changes to the Champions League, didn't they?
Which they've done today. Which I mean, I don't know if you've read that.
We're due to announce it.
Shit as
so
well.
I think they just wanted to get that out straight away. I
mean, what the Champions League has done sounds like some sort of league as well.
Yeah.
As in, it's meant to
get more money.
Champions League is fine as it is.
Champions League,
if anything,
exciting.
It was better before when they didn't let loads of different clubs from the same leagues in. It was better.
The European Cup. Because it was like the European Cup is the champions, so whoever wins each league goes in to play each other. That's what it should be. And then after you had the Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah, the champions of Europe.
I mean, that was sort of the basis of what Gary Neville was saying, wasn't it? Because he was like, there's no aim. There's no sort of like, you're not striving to be better because you're in this league. You're just there in it now.
Yeah.
So, the aim is like you were saying, because they changed it, has always been top four now, isn't it? Everyone talks about top four. If you win the league, great, but just get in that top four, and that is something you strive
the other
for.
good point he was making was, I think it was possibly Jamie Redknapp that made it, saying that, well, if your team could be any of these teams, but take for instance Arsenal, who are pretty crap, if you get beat your first three games, if you're playing against Real Madrid, Barcelona, and then Chelsea, say, you get beat the first three games, then you're not going to win the league. So the rest of the other games, the whole season, is just going to be exhibition matches because you've nothing to play for. So it's just a waste of time.
Yeah, I don't think it'll work. I think they'll backtrack. I
think they went too far. They've apparently signed a 23-year deal. It's been signed by everyone.
No, I mean, I can't see it working. I can't see it happening. I don't think it'll go through. I honestly don't.
Isn't the Real Madrid president like one of the main?
Yeah, he's now the chairman of the Super League, and then Joe Glazer as the vice chairman. So they've already appointed each other. It's not an idea anymore.
It's just a fucking big old. It's an old boys' club, isn't it?
It is.
It's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing.
I don't think it'll work. I'm putting that on.
It doesn't matter what's it. It's a 23-year deal, so it'll be done anyway.
No, it's not going to work.
That's Monday Night Football started. Jamie Carragher. Let's see what's said about it, but I will wait for after for that. Yes, champions. Not happy at all.
Liverpool got to go and play tonight, haven't they? So.
I hope they get beat.
Thanks, John.
Gary Neville described it as Leeds versus Greeds.
Did he?
Yeah, he said Leeds versus Greeds tonight. That's what he said.
That's probably the one and only time I will go on record as agreeing with Gary Neville.
Big Nev. Yeah, it's
No, he was right. He's passionate about Manchester United, and that really did come through with what he was saying. It was
absolutely.
But if you ask anyone, all the supporters clubs were interviewed. I was watching Sky Sports before I came on here, and it was the supporters trust chairmen from each 6 clubs, and they're all saying the same thing. This is just what we've been saying. Is they're ripping the blood out the heart out of the clubs.
Do you think you could find it?
Nobody wants it.
You probably won't find a fan that would be up for it.
Well, that's the
weird thing. Find a fan be up for it. Yeah, you'd find someone who's a tourist.
That's the weird thing, because usually, like, I don't know if you. I've been looking at sport websites like we probably all have for most of the day. Yeah. There's usually another voice saying like, "This is the pros of it." This is nothing. Like, there's been nothing.
There's all
ex-players are like well against it. All fans are well against it. All journalists, like, it's insane. Like governments.
It's like Dion Dublin came out, didn't he? Dion Dublin was saying about the money that trickles down, like, down the leagues and stuff. Yeah. And it's just it's not right, like, for the game. Like,
and I think they're trying to butt it up now as well. It's got to hear the bullet points to the proposed format of the European Super League, and one of them says a corresponding Women's Super League will be subsequently launched as well. So they're basically saying it's like we're saying old boys club, but they're saying, oh no, we've got Women's League as well. Everyone's like, oh, that's nice. But that's not that bad.
But I mean, the Women's League is just taking off. Like, I mean, it's just starting to get better over here, and then you're going to just fucking throw a spanner in the works for it again now. Seems bizarre.
No, the timing of it's crazy with what's going on with COVID. Like, the whole, like, they should have a period of consultation at least at the end of the season, where the season ends, and then they go, right, this is what we propose. This is what we want to do. It honestly feels like a military coup. It's like, right, we're going to take over this. Yeah. We're going to release it at midnight, and the shit hit the fan. Let's just do it and not care.
Yeah.
We need to storm the capital, take it, take the flag.
Yeah.
And I know ultimately, like what you were saying, they're not saying like the team should be leaving their leagues, but it's just not workable. It's just not a workable scenario.
And they probably know that. They probably know that, don't they?
What they'll do is they might play the fringe players like they do in League Cup in the Premier League.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And youth players.
But then that completely devalues the system. So then you've got a team that's in the fucking European Super League that are ending 12th. Do you know what I mean? And 13th and stuff like that.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? It's mental. Absolutely mental.
It's a joke. But I mean, it's nice to hear your opinions, John. I mean, I'm sure you're all for it. If Hearts were announced as the Scottish, entrance to the Super League, would you be all for it, John? Would you have that? Yeah.
No, absolutely not. I'd be exactly the same as you guys. I'd be horrified. But I was actually making that point. I was speaking about that earlier and stuff, and saying when Hearts had that nutter owner, like the Lithuanian guy, who eventually left us in the shit. I mean, he was a multi-millionaire as well, and he's like a madman. So it wouldn't surprise me if he was still in charge. If Hearts had this, it could have the same kind of money and marketing and PR exposure as the Premier League, the top Premier League clubs do. Is if he did that, if he had that in the SPL, then he would probably do something like that as well. But I mean, it's horrifying. Like, there's no way I'd want anything like that. Exactly. Even if it's saying you're going to play against Barcelona and Real Madrid every week, I don't fucking want that. I want that away.
Yeah.
Spot on. Right, guys, we've got to the end of the podcast, but hopefully it doesn't happen, but it might do, it might not. Give us something to talk about next week anyway.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to think of other topics that we can do a podcast on if this all goes to shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Crochet, something like that. Yeah.
Food.
Stamp collecting. Yeah.
Food. Yeah, do food. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Sounds like fun. We'll get thinking about it. We'll brainstorm some ideas.
All right, then. All right, nice one, lads.
Nice one. Catch you later, chat.